Hey everyone, so today I wanted to show you a video all about concealers, all the concealers that I have, and what I like about them, what I don't like about them, kind of how to pick one that's right for you, like what your purpose would be. So here I have about 8 or 9 different concealers. So I'm going to go through them and I'm going to show you what I like about them, who I think they'd be good for, okay? So let's just get started. The first things I want to talk about will be drugstore concealers. Now I have 3 of them. I have a Physcians formula, Maybelline Dream Mousse, and then the Sonia Kashuk quad. So I'll talk about the Physcians formula first. This one is just a sample size. It came with a powder that I bought. And this one, it is just the Gentle Cover Color Stick in the color yellow. So it is just a tiny little lipstick looking shape, and it is a bright yellow. You can see that it's very thick and crayon-y. That's what it looks like. That's just the texture of it. This I did like. When I first got it, I liked it. I thought it was nice. But then I noticed that it fell into my lines and it didn't work for me. And also I have really dark circles right on the inner corner of my eyes, and it did not cover that up. It would cover up like out here, like the lighter purple. It would do a good job doing that. But the inner corner, it just did not work for me. So if you don't have super dark circles and you just need a light concealer, I would go ahead and check this one out. The next one that I do have is the Maybelline Dream Matte Mousse. When I bought this, I fell in love with it. You can see that it is practically almost gone. I've hit pan on it and I just have to use up the sides. I still use this, and then once again, it's a concealer that you cannot use a lot. A little bit will go a long ways. If you use a lot, it this is what it looks like that's the texture. See how it's like all chunky in that? And then I'll smooth it out while I'm talking to you. So you can't use a lot of this or it will fall into all your lines. And this will seriously, it turns out, it looks like you have sand under your eye, if that makes sense. Like it's that grainy dirt. And I don't know. I mean, it's still a good concealer. I do like it. You can work with it. So that is what it looks like when you have it blended out. It's just all nice and smooth. Then it's fine. This, it will cover dark circles. It is also nice to use like on your cheeks if you have a little bit of redness like rosacea or just naturally pigmented cheeks that are really red. This will clear, it will cover it up. So that is also a good one. And this one I believe is about $8 just at the drugstore. The next one that I do have from the drugstore is the Sonia Kashuk one. And it just looks like this. It's called the Concealer Palette. Inside, you do get 2 brushes. I'll flip those out. One is a concealer brush. One is a small little powder brush. It even says powder on it. So in here, you have a mirror just right here. But then you have 3 great shades for concealing. They only have one, I believe. It's just this light palette. They don't have one that's for darker skin tone, which I don't think is very fair. Okay, so in this palette, you get 3 great concealer shades. Starting right here is your lightest shade. You have a salmon shade and a green one. This is a powder. Now, the green is great for covering up any blemishes you might have. It will mask the redness. The salmon shade, which is this one right here, I really like that one for really purple under eyes. I don't really use it as much. I do like the lighter cream side. It is really nice for around your nose because it won't crease. It does a good job underneath your eyes if you want to check that out. The one thing that I do like about this palette is the powder. Now, the powder is a really nice fine powder, but it also has a little bit of shimmer or like a little bit of sparkle. And that will cover, that kind of like brightens your eye, underneath your eye, and it doesn't really set into fine lines. And this palette, I believe, is $12.99 at Target. Alright, so the next 2 that I'm going to talk about, they are on the pricier side. These are Smashbox concealers. Now, one of them is a sample. The other one, I believe it is full size. The first one that is a sample is the High Definition Concealer. And it's in the color Light. And that just looks like this. It is really runny. It's not my favorite. I don't think it conceals. I think you could use it as, I don't know, nothing. I don't like it at all. So when it comes out really liquidy. Like almost gross liquid. I don't know. I don't like it. So that's what it looks like. It's really watered down. I don't know if it's just because it's a sample. Okay, so I was just smearing it out. So that is what it looks like. It's very runny, very liquidy. For your under eyes, this will get trapped in your under eye lines. It is not attractive at all. No matter if you pull the skin taut and tap it in, if you put powder on it and tap it in, it still will crease like none other. It's not my favorite, so I have nothing good to say about it at all. And if you use it and it works for you, great. For me, it does not work. I don't like it. The one concealer I do like from Smashbox is Camera Ready Concealer, and it just comes in a tube like this. It is in a stick form, just like that, and it is a harder stick, which I like. So when applying this, it has a really nice texture. It's not thick, but it's still creamy. And it is that one right there. And when you're blending this one out, it really blends nicely. It does not sit in the lines. It actually kind of brightens under my eye. That's why I like about it too. It doesn't settle into lines like I said. It's just nice. And I'm not sure on the price of this. I will check it out and I'll list it down below. Alright, the next concealer palette that I really love is the Makeup Forever. It is the 5-color palette number 2. And it's number 2 because it has the purple shade in this. So in here you're getting from the super light ivories, and then it's getting a little darker into the beige. This color right here is a really pretty, almost salmon color, and then you have the purple, which is the brightening. The one thing I like about this a lot is the texture of these. This is probably the best concealer that is creamy that I've tried. So in here, they warm up to your skin. They feel kind of hard, but they will warm up to your skin really nicely. The texture is great. It doesn't sink into your lines really. Once again, like I said, with concealer, it's best to use a little than a lot. You may think you need a lot of concealer to cover something. You really don't. If you just do one application and then just leave it alone, do your powder, you will be fine. So less is more with concealer. So there's just a swatch right there of that. The purple one is really nice for brightening. Brightening? I like how I said that. This, if you put this in the inner corners and a little bit on the outer corners, it makes your skin or your under eyes topped with concealer. It makes you look more awake. It brightens your eyes. It's great. So there's what it looks like. It's purple. That's on there pretty thick. When I use it, I just barely tap into it. So my finger is clean. So I tap into it just that much. And that will be plenty to make your under eye brightened. And then do follow up with a little bit more of concealer. I'll place a little bit on top of it and I'll show you. So here we go. So right there on the top, you can still see that it's brightened. You can see a little bit of the purple. There's something about it that makes your under eye brighter. There is a really great dupe for the under eye brightener, and this one is by Carmen D, the Carmen D collection. It is the Sally Hansen all over brightener, and it just comes in a little pot like this. Same thing. It's the same color, same consistency. It's purple. This one is a little bit more thicker, so you gotta be careful with that one. This retails at Sephora, I think, over $20, under $30. I'm not quite sure. I've had it for a while. I haven't hit pan on it. It is a really great palette if you want to try a really nice high-end concealer. It's also great for highlighting if you want to highlight right here and contour if you have the darker palette. So it's a really great product all around. I love this palette. One more that I forgot to mention is the Benefit Erase Paste. This is a #1 Fair. Now with this one is a super thick consistency, even though it's creamy. The problem is getting it out of the pot. You do have to use a brush, or it gets all up under your nails, which is really gross. So on here, okay, so the erase paste, I have it right here. Now it's a really great consistency. The color is great. It's more on the peachy side. Like I said, most peachy colors are good for masking the purples and the blues under your eyes. With this one, less is more, like always, like I've said, but you can build this one up. The more you build up, the more it'll look nice, but you have to be careful if you need to stop. It's going to make your under eye circles really cakey and dry looking. This one I don't like for under my eyes. I like it more for concealing blemishes or fixing if I want to make like a really sharp line on the outer edge of my eyeshadow. I will use it for that. This is probably about $20, I think. It's my other high-end one, but the consistency is great. Under your eyes, it seems to stay more moist and it kind of cracks when you put powder on it. So I don't really recommend it for under your eyes, but on your skin, it just blends into your skin really nice. It's really great to mute out your lips if you want to do like a nude lip. It's really great around the corner of your noses, around your nose. So I do like it for that purpose as well. Okay, so my last concealer that I'm going to talk about is my Clinique Line Smoothing Concealer. Now, this is my all-time favorite concealer now. All of these, this beats, for me, all of these ones together. So this is my all-time favorite concealer. I'm so happy that it was introduced to me by the Sephora girl. It really helps. This one will not sink into your fine lines. At least for me, it does not. Like, I'm looking at them, and I don't know, it's great. If I could zoom in perfectly on my under eye and show you guys how perfect it was, without my camera going blurry, I would do that, but it would still do that. But with this, it just has a doe foot applicator. The texture of this is so creamy, even though it's liquidy, like it's wet. But once it dries, that's the thing I probably like about it, why it works so well, is because when you put it on your skin, here it is right there, and you start tapping on it and just working it underneath your eye very lightly. This is a lot. I would never use this much, but I'm just showing you. In about 30 seconds, it will dry completely, and it will dry where it's supposed to. Like, it's not going to dry in your fine lines cakey. If it goes in your lines, it kind of fills them in, which I really like. So once it's filled in, I mean, it stays put. It's awesome. Getting it off, you have to use a little bit, not really a lot of elbow grease around your eye, but it's really stuck onto your skin, kind of like glue, which I like. So, like right now, it is super dry. It's not going to go anywhere. It's a really great concealer. This concealer, I believe, is $14 at Sephora or even at the Clinique counter. I'm not sure how much it is at the Clinique counter. You can go ahead and check it out. Maybe you could get like a sample of it, have them test it on you, show you how it works. I have it in the color 02 Light, and it still has that peachiness to it. It's not a like a stark white concealer. You don't want to have a white concealer. I know you think lighter is going to be better, but the lighter is actually going to make it look more gray and not conceal really well. So do have a color that is one color below of your foundation color. Okay, so I really hope this video was a little bit helpful. Sorry, I was talking really fast, but I had to get through quite a few products. But that's just what my hand looks like. There's all different kinds of concealers out there. If you have found one that works for you, that is awesome. And if it's not one of these that I mentioned and you'd like me to try it out, just go ahead and tell me what it is. And that's it. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.